Hey, Mike with Mike's Bags, and today I'm reviewing the Terminators by Local Bags. And this is the newest bag released by Local. It's got a unique slow side material on it. It's got a unique blend fill, at least a unique to Local. It's the first bag that's using this type of resin blend they're using. I'm pretty excited about this bag. A lot of you guys have asked about it, so let's go ahead and dive in and break down these Terminators. We'll start with the design as always. This is the standard Local design, nothing special. They do have rockets kind of in the background here because the resin is called their rocket resin. They have their alien fill. This is the rocket resin they're using now. I've got a few different colorways. I think they even had an alien design, but it's a pretty standard look for Local. It's not awful. It's not special. I'm okay with it. These bags are ACL Pro Standard for 2023 for those that play ACL events. Material-wise, let's start with the fast side, 'cause that's a familiar material. This is the Pro Sniper Deadhead Viper fast side. I talk about it a ton. You've all thrown it. 9-speed material. It's crazy fast. The odd thing is Local on their website lists this as a 7-speed. It's a 7-speed normal conditions. I think in faster conditions 8 to 9. There's never a condition where I feel like this material is a 7-speed. Even when the boards get sticky and damp with humidity, this material still moves. I feel like a little faster than a 7. I don't know if Local was planning on putting a floral material on this bag and then they changed it and they forgot to update their description of the bag. I don't know. This is not a 7-speed. This is a 9-speed material on the fast side here. Slow side, this is a unique. It's the only bag I've seen that has this material. I don't know. It's not the same as the Viper carpet. It's not the same as that clone carpet. It's actually it looks closer to some of that carpet that the Razor bags were using when I did those Razor bag reviews. It's similar. It's kind of in that same carpet family, but it's definitely a different material. Local calls this a 4-speed, and I think they're right. This plays a little slower to me than those other carpet materials. I think it really plays like a 4-speed. So you're looking at a 4-9-speed bag. Template-wise, this is a medium template. You know, it feels and plays like a bigger bag because it's a fuller bag, but it's really that medium template design. I'm not gonna call it a large template. It's a medium template, but it's definitely a fuller template. You've got quite a bit of fill, which you can get a nice grip to it. It does have some flop to it. It is not crazy floppy. And in these bags, when they were brand new, and I got a brand new, I didn't even pay for the pro break-in or whatever the break-in method they offer. A lot of times I'll break on myself. But these bags came in and they were just ready to go. And these two materials are very loose, very pliable. I will say the backing on this carpet here is not the same backing they used on the Hustle Rex. I know I complained about the Hustle Rex being a really stiff material, really hard to break in, and a lot of it had to do with the material they used on the back of the herringbone carpet. This is it's a softer, or not softer, it's a thinner material on the back here, so it's more pliable. It's also when I rub together, I can feel it's a little less friction there. It's a little smoother material. It reminds me a lot of that performance liner that B3 uses. I talked about that when I did some of the B3 bags. I think in the B3 Justice, I really kind of went a little more in depth on that performance liner and my thoughts on it and so forth. This is I don't know if it's the same material that B3 uses, but it's very close. It feels a lot like it. So it's kind of that same idea I think they put in there to help reduce some of that friction. It's also, again, it's a thinner material, so it's not as stiff. The bag comes in really loose, ready to go from the beginning. But anyway, it's got some flop to it. It's not crazy floppy. And probably, to be honest, as I get to play with it, I'll talk more about it. I almost wish the bag was a little bit floppier. I think if they took a little fill and made it a little bit floppier, I think it would improve some of the performance and play on it. The fill in this bag is their rocket resin, as I mentioned. And it's a mixed fill. They actually mix 3 different fills in here. They've got some of that small disc I can feel, and they've got, looks like 2 different size beads in here. I like the fill. I love a mixed fill. And I really like the idea of this. I think this is a great fill. To me, I would prefer a mixed fill over a 100% bead or a 100% disc fill. Yeah, I like the fill. I like the template size. I would maybe go just a touch on the fullness down a notch, just get a little more flop to it, but only go change as far as the design in the bag at all. Now, playability on this bag. This is really more of a bag for a control type player. Because of the slower material here, it's easy to throw blockers. You can put them wherever you want on the board. You can really control this. Now, I will say this material does kick on you, more so than, say, the Viper or that clone carpet does. It does have some more kick to it, although that also leads, in my opinion, to the bag being more cuttable. Like, you can really cut this bag. You can shape shots with it. It's definitely a bag that you can roll, you can flop. You know, if you're that shot shaping type of player, that's what this is designed for. You can do a lot of stuff with it. You got the fast side here that really can move and collect those bags. The fullness of this bag, being as full as it is, really is to collect. You just clip a corner, you can collect. You don't have to, go really aggressive or hard at it. You just catch a corner, it'll go in. The one knock on this bag, the one big issue I have with this bag is that this material is not as hole friendly as I want it to be or as I thought it was going to be. It's not as hole friendly as it, because the thing, the what made the Viper R so popular, it makes that clone carpet so popular, is that it's a controllable material, but it's hole friendly. This is a little more controllable, but you're sacrificing the hole for this. Like, I had time and time again, bags were hanging on the hole. They would catch sometimes, but they would sit there and hang. And when they were hanging, they were difficult to collect. Yeah, I really had a hard time collecting. I had to get aggressive going after them. And so when I get really aggressive, I would have bags that would just hit and bunch, because they're fuller bags. They're going to bunch. I think it was a time or two I had them clog the hole. It might have only been one time they clogged and they just jammed up. I think one time I had them clogged, but I had another bag. I flipped it over. I was able to knock those bags in, but of course, when my fourth bag hit, it kicked off to the side. Now, playing with an opponent, it's not a bad thing to have it clog the hole. It's because it causes, when they go to throw, they're going to have to clean it up, and then their bag kicks off. You can put your fourth one in if that's how it works out for you. But it was time and time again, this material was just hanging. You know, even when I threw a blocker and I go to collect, I find myself, I'd clip it. The push bag would spin around and go in, and this bag would just sit there hanging there. And it was my fourth bag. It was frustrating. Or I would throw a bag up there, and because the bag doesn't have a lot of flop to it, it's not as forgiving around the hole. You know, again, I talk about the landing zone all the time. The larger, floppier bags have a wider, bigger landing zone. When you get those fuller bags, it narrows down. And this bag just doesn't have enough flop that if you're a little off left or right, it doesn't always have enough to drop in the hole, catch, spin around and pull the bag in. I would have it either hop over the hole, or it would just catch just enough to slow the bag down and spin around, but they would just sit behind the hole and not in the hole enough that I could collect it. Right, so I was losing bags to the left or right because it didn't have the flop. And that's where I mentioned, I think if the bag was just a hair more floppier, maybe you get a little more of that forgiveness around the hole. So you know, if you're a little off left or right, it would drop in. But I was getting frustrated with that. And then even when it did sometimes catch the hole, it would catch and just sit there. You know, if I didn't have enough speed, it wasn't doing it. Now, where I think this bag would shine is on faster boards. Because once you get to faster board conditions, I think that hole, that hanging on the hole goes away some. The kick goes away some. The bag doesn't kick as much. The only problem is that this material becomes really tough to play with on faster board conditions. When I was throwing this bag, what I was finding is sometimes I wanted to flip it over and go fast side on the last bag. If I had an open board, had 3 bags over here, I would flip it over and want to go fast side. I wanted to ensure this bag was going in. But this fast side is very tough to control, even on normal conditions. You get to fast board conditions, it's near impossible to control unless you have bags around the board to hit, to push through, or to bounce off of, or to play off of. So all in all, it's a fine bag. It's a good bag. I think there are players that are going to love this bag. For me, when I'm reviewing bags, I'm going to say, okay, what situation would I pull this bag out? And honestly, I don't know when I would play this bag over the B3 Coyote or the Swag Bag Chaos. Like, you know, those are 2 bags that have, you know, the same fast side material, 2 different type of slow type material, but very similar. And I just think that anytime I would want to play this bag, one of those 2 would be a better bag for me to pull out and play with. So I struggle with when to use this bag. Again, it's not a bad bag. Like I love everything about the bag. I just don't like the way that this material hangs in the hole. It's just, I don't know. But some of you, you know, if you're used to playing a slower carpet style material, you know, like that Viking carpet, like that OG2 combat carpet, and you're wanting to go to a little bit different material, these kind of hybrid type carpet materials, this would be a summer material to step up to if you're used to, because those materials hang on the hole, you're used to it, you can play with it, you can deal with it. I think you can make it work. So, oh no, it's not a bad bag. I would say try to find a set to play with, to try out before you buy it, because I don't think everybody's going to like this bag, but I do think there are people out there that will like this bag. This is kind of more of a specialized bag for certain types of players. Now, availability of this, Local has their bags pretty much in stock all the time. They do a really good job keeping bags in stock. These bags run, they have some that are $79.99, some $89.99. I think the first few colors they released are $79.99 now. The newer colorways are $89.99. These are $89.99. Plus they had $10 for shipping. Local does run sales quite often. When they were doing this, they were giving, I had a free shipping. I got free shipping because they were running a sale on that, or I had a code, I think what it was. So just keep an eye out on Local. Follow their social media accounts. They're running sales, discounts all the time. You can find around that $90 to $100 range. It's not the cheapest bag. It's kind of that mid-range for price points. I'm okay with it. It's a good quality bag. I like the bag at $100. You know, you're getting your money's worth out of it. If you've thrown this, you like it, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you like about it. Or if you don't like it, I love hearing your guys' feedback. So let me know what you think about this Terminators. And thank you guys so much for support, and thank you for watching.